Hello and a huge welcome back to the Learning Network. You're with me, Kell Bell, and today we're going to unpack this beautiful HMS syllabus we have at the ready to implement literally next year. So the elephant in the room is, have you even had a look at this brand new syllabus? Because I know there are many of us across New South Wales who simply haven't even had the energy or time to actually unpack what the syllabus looks like. And you've told me secretly that, Kell, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. What advice would you have? So I thought I'd share this with you today for you to unpack the syllabus in a really simple, straightforward way. And I'd probably suggest for you to set aside about 45 minutes to unpack what I would actually dive into if I hadn't looked at the syllabus yet, and I have. I've been working closely with the syllabus. We're best buddies, working alongside our health and movement science members who are inside our HMS membership. So the membership started as soon as the syllabus was released, and we've been working hard behind the scenes to give you the resources, the templates, the activities, just the know-how to really break down a syllabus really easily. So step by step guiding you through so you can navigate the syllabus successfully, rather than multiple one and done PLs that kind of might not have that disjointed connection for you. If you kind of speed through things, or if you don't want to sit through a whole day, you can kind of navigate your way through our HMS membership, and you can pick and choose, like Netflix style, where you are at on your journey for HMS. So the resources that we're sharing inside the membership, teachers have told me that they're going to make a huge difference when they actually go to teach the new syllabus, but also they're just really simple to use, really easy. Hopefully that's one of my superpowers, is demystifying a syllabus. And I've done this for such a long time. I know when I first started teaching back in 2004, I had to unpack a syllabus even before I started at my very first school, because we had our brand new PDHPE syllabus in 7 to 10, or K to 10 it would have been. And I worked with my coordinator, Karen. You've heard me talk about her before. And we kind of unpacked the syllabus. We did lots of mapping and linking, and we basically wrote our programs from scratch that year. So it was a lot of hard work in my very first year of teaching, and no wonder why I'd go home with an absolute headache and laid on the lounge. If you're new to PE and CAFS teaching, or if you're new to teaching in general, you probably know that feeling only too well. So look, when I first started, we had our brand new syllabus. I then kind of entered the world of professional learning, probably about 8 years into my career, where that was my job, to kind of unpack a syllabus, present it to a group of teachers, and make life so much easier. If you haven't heard my story, ACHPA president, ACHPA presenter, and then when I left the classroom, starting my own business to support PDHPE and CAFS teachers across New South Wales, this has been my core job for nearly 4 years. So I make things that seem very complex and overwhelming, put them into bite-sized pieces. So I have put together a bit of a rework of the webinar that I shared with you guys way back in August, to give you the 101 if you haven't started and haven't even looked at the syllabus yet. So hopefully this is going to be very helpful for you, and you don't feel too overwhelmed as you navigate this wonderful brand new syllabus that we have at our disposal. So please let me know if you do have any questions at the end. You know where to find us. So Instagram, kellybell.coach, as well as email contact@thelearnnet.com, Messenger, all those things. Because if you're still floundering away, or it's just been printed out and sitting there on your desk waiting to open, this is going to be really helpful for you. So you're in the right place if you're ready to navigate, finally, this brand new syllabus that isn't so new anymore, but you're ready to build confidence in your approach to teaching HMS next year. Yes, it's next year. We don't have any more time. Can we get an extension on that? No, it's next year. You're ready to unpack the collaborative investigation, because I know that you have lots of questions around that. That's been a real common thing that's been coming up. People really concerned about the collaborative investigation, but using all of my experience, 20 years in CAFS, presenting, you know the deal, I'm going to make sure you are very much calm and you feel very confident in that. And you're also ready to have a bit of a look, not heaps of look at the depth studies, but to have a bit of a plan of attack as you navigate your way through the syllabus as well. My promises, as always, to you is for you to actually take action from today and to give you the confidence to move forward in your learning. So first of all, to effectively navigate the syllabus, work out what's what, where are the outcomes, where are all those bits, confidently start to look at some teaching and learning activities. And as someone said to me at some point, it might have even been Janice Atkin, the famous PE guru, that she said this at some point when we were looking at our K-10 syllabus back in 2018. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You want to actually repurpose what you're using, those tried and tested activities that you've loved, that the kids have loved, that have been successful. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't throw those out. Actually repurpose them for our HMS syllabus. Hopefully it successfully unpack the collaborative investigation, and we've started to develop lots of resources, activities, cards, all those sorts of things for that, and then to start to have a look at the depth studies as well. We do have challenges. It is week 4 at the time that I'm sharing this, and of term 1, 2024, and many of you inside our HMS membership, inside our CAFS collective, our brand new K-10 PDHPE memberships, you're telling me that, like, Kell, I can already feel myself getting sick. I can already feel myself chasing our tail. If you're watching this live, we have a storm here on the Central Coast. If you're listening back to this, we have a bit of a stormy day here. You also have some challenges around the awareness. Like, we're in it together. There's no, the syllabus writing team, yes, they wrote this a long time ago and it was then approved by different people in government, and then NESA obviously released it last year. But we're kind of going through it together. Like, I'm one step ahead of you guys. NESA are a few steps ahead of everyone. So they've already developed things to help us navigate our way through, but also have a strategy in place. And my strategy with anything in life, especially for teaching, is to make life so much easier. Strategize, work out what's been done before, what works, and then implement that along the way. Okay, are you ready to navigate our way through this? We've been waiting for over 4 years for this brand new syllabus. Yes, it's been in the making for quite some time, and many of us know that we needed a new syllabus. Maybe not in its current version with so many changes, but I think the biggest thing I want to rest assure you that it's kind of been repackaged, I suppose. A lot of the options have been taken out, but the 4 cores are still the main core of our syllabus. So we'll kind of navigate that our way through. I know that you're feeling overwhelmed and you probably feel a little bit, a little bit nervous about what it's going to take. So these are my 4 steps for you, very simple, actionable steps that you can take to navigate your way through to feel heaps more confident. The first one is obviously download things. If you're a bit of a tangible kind of, you want a physical thing in your hand, often our physical syllabus is, for me personally, I love it on screen as well, but I also like that hard copy of it. And mine has been already, earmarked and highlighted and flagged with little colours. So it's definitely getting a workout. The second one is to navigate the syllabus content, because I think the skills are there, the outcomes guide us, the propositions are embedded within this. So our 5 propositions from the K-10 syllabus, which are taken from our Australian curriculum for health and physical HPE. So that has been embedded in there. That is in our new syllabus. There are the kind of things that go outside that, but I think people are still concerned about the actual content itself. And then work out a bit of a plan of attack from now, week 4 of term 1. What are you going to do every single week or every single term up until, probably by the end of the year? I want you to feel super supported. I want you to feel like that you are going to go into next year like you've done this before. And I know our health and movement science members do feel like that already. Like, Kell, you have seriously saved us so many hours. It makes a lot of sense the way that you've done this, or I'm enjoying the way this looks, or I already kind of have some firm ideas about what this is going to look like for our context. And I will kind of mention that each of us teach in different parts of New South Wales with different contexts, smaller schools, rural schools, remote schools, regional schools, in the city, on the coast, in the bush, on the mountain, or on the beach, or different parts of New South Wales. You know what I mean? We all have different kids who traditionally take PDHPE. And I was saying this to our members the other night on Zoom, that I don't want you to lose the nature and the culture of our Stage 6 PDHPE course. I don't want that to be taken away, because I would hate for our numbers and our kids to start disliking what HMS has evolved into. And don't be scared by the title. It hasn't really changed. It's just been rebranded and brought out and repurposed. So I really want you to feel confident in that. But when I share something with you, or if one of our members shares something, it might not suit your context. You might think, oh, Kell, like that wouldn't suit my kids. Change it, adjust it, differentiate. And that's the whole purpose of our membership, to obviously tweak and change what I've shared with you, what members have shared with you. And obviously the fourth part about it is, when you're looking at your steps ahead, you need to work with other people. Like, you can't go it alone. I was messaging a couple of teachers on the weekend, or they were messaging me via Messenger, and they were just saying that they just want to have the opportunity to be able to collaborate with others. We know that 2 brains are better than 1, 3 or 4 brains are better than just 1. My core belief is that we shouldn't be doing this on our own. I think many of us still do that. Wherever you are in New South Wales, get off that island and let's work together. Okay, so the first step is to go onto the NESA website. You know that, or you might not know that it is housed in a different spot. So you need to go to our New South Wales curriculum website, not the NESA website as it kind of stands. There's a new link, which is down the bottom, so curriculumnewsouthwales.edu.au, and you'll have access to that. So when you go onto the website, download what you need, the actual main syllabus. The download view is really good if you're watching the recording, and then save it, print it, save it in your Google Drive, print it off, highlight it, and then you'll see underneath that, and again, I like to make things practical, so you can kind of use that link under here to make sure you go to the teaching and learning support section, and there's a whole heap of resources that are now shared by NESA to help you. So that will hopefully make so much sense and make your life easier when you're actually navigating your way through. Okay, the next thing is to make sure you're downloading any of the other documents that go with it. So I'm talking like our life skills documents, any of those sorts of things. We also have the support documents as well, which give us really great information about our collaborative investigation and our depth studies. I know last year when I was working on both collaborative investigation and depth studies resources, like practical activities, they made my life so much easier when I was kind of, I suppose, planning for it, excuse me, but also navigating my way through things for teachers. Okay, so we have a whole big list of teaching and learning resources that we can download. We have some sample units there that you can see. We also have, some sample assessment schedules. There have been some assessment tasks uploaded now, scope and sequences, advice, the works. We also have an exam specification that has been shared, and it's nothing that we're not comfortable with or that we have already taught in terms of skills and understanding. It's more around the knowledge, the actual content that's changed. Okay, when you're going through the syllabus itself, like I said, for me, I had my highlighters out. I had my little flags out. I had post-it notes out. I had a notepad that I was writing down questions or ideas as I was going through. So there is a lot of content that has just been shuffled around and changed for the better. So rest assured that there's a purpose for it. Like it's contemporary. It's relevant for us in today's society. As I mentioned, a lot of the options have been completely removed because they're either like outdated in terms of their approach, or they're actually already in PASS and SLR already in other parts of our PE course. So don't be too stressed when you see that. And the good news is, which I love this for PE teachers, is that there's lots of great opportunities for application. So bringing that syllabus to life. Okay, so as I said before, 5 propositions still shape this syllabus, as well as our K-10 PDHPE syllabus. Now, our cores are called focus areas now. So there's 2 focus areas in Year 11, Focus Area 1, Focus Area 2, and 2 focus areas in Year 12. And then we call them content points because we know that the syllabus has changed a little bit in terms of the way it looks. Rather than our Learn About, Learn To, we have, again, that good practical application of knowledge, understanding, and skills, which we always want to see with curriculum. Lots of opportunities for case studies in different contexts. You know how we teach PE in different sporting contexts? Well, that's very much been exemplified and, amplified in our syllabus. Lots of opportunity for research skills, which I love. My CAFS background, obviously 20 years of that. And our HMS members, I think, feel very supported in that because I've done a lot in that space of the IRP and the research skills and what's worked with teacher-facilitated IRP. My IRP course has had over 300 teachers take it. So I know that it's making a difference because of that. We also need to look at depth studies and our collaborative investigation. So that's a great little diagram that shows that interrelationship between the content as well as the skills that we're looking for, which should be embedded in each of our focus areas. Okay, so in terms of what's out, our critical questions are now called content points. In terms of content, what's out, health and skill related components of fitness is completely gone. No options, no first aid, composition and performance doesn't exist. Fitness choices aren't in there. Outdoor rec, which I love personally, and I did as a PE student back in Year 11, is not in there. Not as much focus on Ottawa Charter, but it still is in there, like that traditional perspective is still in there. Assessment of skill and performance, so that kind of composition and assessment of skill, that's kind of not really in there much. Parts of the health of young people syllabus is out, but there's still kind of main components of that. SPAS, or sport and physical activity in Australian society, has gone. Again, I did that part. I think it was called something different when I did PDHP, Year 11 and 12. That's gone. That's in PASS anyway. That's in SLR. Parts of sports med has gone. Parts of equity and health has gone. In terms of what's new or what's in for Year 11, we have 4 components that make up Year 11. So we don't have options, but we have content that can definitely be built on, because we know that was an issue with our current syllabus, that there was so much to get through. How do we have the time to do that? Well, NESA have given us the time to do that through depth studies, minimum of 2 in Year 11, minimum of 2 in Year 12, as well as our collaborative investigation. The content has been restructured. Investigations exist. Skills for strengthening the individual, that kind of like individual application and skills is there. Advocacy as a word, we know that the syllabus did have a lot of basis for advocacy, but it actually has now been highlighted and the kids are exposed to that. CAFS kids would know that, CAFS teachers would know that, be familiar with that. Approaches to health is new. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is new. Investigate the physiological responses to aerobic training. So that kind of practical application is like, many of us did it, but it's now actually is in the syllabus itself. Research how movement skills are acquired, and then investigate how communities of exercise motivate individuals and groups. So you can see that that idea around research is very much at the forefront of this syllabus. For Year 12, there are, again, a few changes in terms of components, but we have 3 components in Year 12. We have health in an Australian and global context. So similar to our, what we have as an extension of Year 11, and then training for improved performance, 2 depth studies in Year 12 minimum. And one of those have to be assessed. So restructured content, again, investigations, comparing the health status of Australia and OECD, which is great. Future opportunities for the healthcare system is a new addition. New wording for complementary approaches, the relationship between technology and health. Although it was around like in IP, it now kind of exists with more that health side of things. So that's kind of strengthened a little bit. Impact of digital health on the healthcare system. Again, that digitization of health, technology and health has very much been highlighted. Big data shaping the health of Australians. And again, same for Year 11, those sustainable development goals are very much a key feature. Using the actual term macro and micronutrients is in there. And I've said this like multiple times, so I'm going on about it again, but this idea around sleep and performance, athletes like Michael Phelps have really brought this type of research to the forefront. And I think for me, I'm not an athlete, but I think that idea around improving your performance, I know in my sports, again, I'm no athlete, but I think that's a really great connection to see. I think the kids will really enjoy researching that and learning about that. And that idea, again, around researching stuff on sleep, nutrition, and supplementation. And then, again, embedding that technology stuff, recording and monitoring training and performance. These are things that are current that the kids are exposed to anyway. So with your plan of attack with all of this, like always, I've been advocating this for a long time, probably since about 2010. Try to strategize. Have a clear purpose and plan of attack. Don't fluff around. Repurpose what you've got, but also have a clear strategy to move forward. There we go. Don't throw everything in the bin, which I would probably be more inclined to do because I'm that type of person. Don't reinvent the wheel. Start from scratch. Don't start from scratch. Don't start from scratch. The majority of the content, apart from the options, is still in. There are parts of the options in there, like I said, especially IP stuff, some sports med, the health of young people. There's a lot of stuff that's still in. As I mentioned before, repurposing those tried and true activities, having an assessment task, tweaking it, obviously, making sure we take a lot of those research tasks out. We know that AI, like not physical, practical research, but researching stuff on the internet. AI is changing the game with that. We know that. In terms of Year 11, our collaborative investigation is only in Year 11. That's an awesome opportunity for our kids to work on those research skills ready for Year 12 with our depth studies. Make sure you capitalise on that. Learn from a lot of our mistakes in CAFS that we did in the early days, where we forgot to actually teach the research skills properly and in depth, and made sure the kids actually understood it from the beginning. So in terms of the collaborative investigation, 20 hours of class time based on the student's interest or the class's interest, I'm going to say. It's going to be assessed as an individual and group component, assessable item that NESA have stipulated. And use our CAFS, bio, drama, dance, all those subjects that have some sort of investigation or have been doing collaborative work for years and years. In CAFS, we've been doing it for a really long time, a teacher-facilitated IRP. And even prior to that, there were schools doing it like that. So that little syllabus statement was made in 2013. So we've been doing this for 10 years, 11 years. Trust us. Trust me when I say it can happen. A collaborative investigation will work in your class. Don't be scared of it. Obviously, use your colleagues as a support. The processes that we've done in CAFS, I'm going to share inside our Health and Movement Science membership. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel for me and for our teachers. So I want you to be confident with these skills. In terms of depth studies, opportunity to learn and apply their knowledge and understanding and skills, and then time to actually do it rather than saying, oh, if we had time, we might have done some fitness testing and we might have used some heart rate monitors or whatever. Not just lip service, we're actually applying this stuff. So a total of 20 hours in class time for year 11 for the depth studies, total 30 hours for year 12 in class time, and then one accessible item in year 12 for our depth study. So we assess our collaborative investigation. We don't have to assess a depth study. We can in year 11. Remember, we've only got 3 tasks though. Maximum 3 tasks. And then in year 12, we have our depth study that is the accessible item. So again, minimum of 2 in year 11 and 2 in year 12. For our depth studies, we're looking at big picture content. Where can we connect parts across the syllabus to bring it all together? Are you going to focus on focus area 1 or 2, or have a bit of a combination of both? Okay, the next part is to actually connect with people who are doing this, who are teaching HMS, who have experience in teaching PDHPE, Stage 6 PE. Make life easier. If you want ongoing support, free support, we have our Facebook group where you can jump into and ask anyone any question about HMS. I will be honest, there has been a traditional CAFS focus, but now that this is our core business, especially for teaching Stage 6 PE and then HMS next year, obviously a lot of us are going to be worried, and a lot of us have left it to the last minute. Don't worry, we've got your back. Podcast episodes around HMS, the PDHPE and CAFS podcast. Again, it was a CAFS focus. I got over myself and realised that I wasn't just recognised as a CAFS person. So you can find that on Apple and Spotify. And when we do our episodes, we also record those on YouTube as well, and blog articles and stuff and research to support our episodes. And then connect with beautiful teachers like yourself that are in there doing the same thing. We have our HMS membership to help you. So connecting with teachers who are in the trenches is a great way forward. So you can either have no strategy and go on your merry way, or it's really important to protect you. And obviously with all of my experience over the last 20 years, professional learning, presenting, resource writing, textbook, HMS, no, not HMS, HSC, supervisor of marketing for CAFS, leader across New South Wales. Now I have, many of you, hundreds of you in our membership. So, my core mission to protect your time, energy, and well-being. So, as I mentioned, we need to work together on this. It is a massive task, and we have so many other things going on in our life, not just at work, but personally. So it's really important that you're, my favorite quote, I think, ever is the most valuable resource all teachers have is each other. Without collaboration, we are limited to our own perspectives. Robert John Meehan. So you know how I feel about this. Collaboration is key. So you're probably thinking how you have time to do this with all the things that are going on this year, with new changes, the looming K-10 syllabus, all of the feedback from that. As I've mentioned with you today, our Health and Movement Science membership has a growing group of 45, I think, HMS teachers and CAFS teachers in there. And we have already developed a lot behind the scenes for you to save your time. The other night in our masterclass, I shared with everyone our template that we're going to be working through. So as you know, many of you love our teaching and learning strategies, our activities, mapped to the syllabus with resources and links and ideas. That is how we're going to roll out our HMS membership. Alongside that, practical things that you can actually pick up and use the very next day or next year in your classroom. So I think a lot of professional learning out there is a lot of, not lip service, it's really valuable, but it's like, here's the big picture, the content, but what does it actually look like in the classroom? We're going to support you in that, because I know that's a time-consuming part. Like, you can have a look at the syllabus and get your head around it and do a course or do a one-day workshop with a group of teachers, but our core business is teaching and learning, and that's what we're here to help you with, the teaching and learning and resources to actually resource that. And assessment tasks, scope and sequences, we've already done them for you. So you can go, okay, Kell, I like these 8 versions. My favorite one that I think will work with our context is number 4, because, you know, it leads with focus area 1. Our kids have a really big health focus. We're then going to embed collaborative investigation at the back of that. That's going to be the accessible item for term 1. And then we're going to go with focus area 2. And then we might have a depth study in there, and then another depth study to finish off in term 3. Like, it's all there for you to actually literally pick up and start to use for your planning for next year. So if you want to have access to ongoing support, the HMS membership is obviously open now. And very soon, at the end of March, we have our HMS Summit as well, which is when you join us, you have a reserved seat at that as well. So lesson plans and resources, any masterclasses you miss, they're recorded, and they're twice a term. So if you miss something, it's recorded. You can watch it back again, have access to the resources from now until you'll be teaching the course as well. So having that ongoing support is really important. Obviously, any stuff with collaborative investigation and depth studies with research, all the planning documents will be included as well as you navigate your way through, plus our private Facebook group when we get to kind of navigate our way through, and any kind of like key terms and stuff or key skills, key things for HMS will be developed along the way. So if you have any questions about our membership, please let us know. But I hope today has given you a really good quick snapshot as to what the syllabus entails, because I know many of us have left it to the last minute. I would probably be one of those people if I was still in the classroom, because life is busy and we have so much happening. So if you want ongoing support, obviously we have our HMS membership. The learnet.com/membership, not membership, HMS is where you need to go to access any info about the membership. Or if you're like, Kell, I'm struggling, I haven't even started, can you help me? We can help you. We've got a whole big group of teachers that are in it together, but also a HMS Summit, which is coming up really soon. So we have in March, what do we have? 22nd and 23rd of March. We kind of had to change a few dates for that. So if you would love any more info around that, the learnet.com/summit. But otherwise, if you have any questions about HMS or want to pick my brain, send me a DM or a message on Messenger, or you can flick us an email, contact@thelearnet.com. Otherwise, happy week 4. I hope you're well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.